All right, we will get started. So welcome everyone to my Thursday 30 webinar. This week, my topic is going to be on LinkedIn on company pages. Most everybody probably has, I'm sure everybody on here has a LinkedIn personal profile already, but I'm wondering how many of you might have actually have a company page as well. Company pages have a different set of visibility to them. They have some additional value that they can add, and even a solopreneur like most of us can and should have a company page. So we're going to talk about some of the benefits of a company page in LinkedIn. So I'm curious if any of you, how many of you might have already have a, number one, have a LinkedIn profile, and number two, if you've got if you have a company page. So just let me know. Let's see here. Pam, you have a question? I see your hands up. Oh, okay. Yeah, just pop it in the chat if you've got a company page, or if you have, for sure have a LinkedIn profile. But then if you also have a company page, let me know. Just curiosity. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen. And we will get going here. So let me chat back up. Okay, so you've got most everybody, I think everyone's got a LinkedIn profile, no company, some with company pages, some with, and some have them, but then aren't using them, which is not uncommon. You know, LinkedIn is one of those topics that's really, it's sort of an afterthought. It's kind of, it's not like Facebook, because you're not getting the, you're not getting the social engagement and the interaction. So because it is a professional network, it has its own set of audience and its own rules, if you will, or, unwritten rules, I guess you would call it. The etiquette maybe is a better way to say that. But by the same token, there are some things that you can get out of LinkedIn that you don't get with a Facebook page, for example. You have a much higher targeted audience. You've got, for business related purposes, it's going to be especially B2B services, or if you're trying to reach out to executives or professionals, LinkedIn is going to be, in often cases, a better source for that. So we're going to talk about the company pages, and then I did do one of these webinars a little while back about LinkedIn and for lead generation. So if you're interested, you can go back on my ninjamarketingdojo.com site and find that training that I did then. So, but company pages. This is my company page. So you want to make sure you have a good branding. You want to have your logo. Your tagline needs to be just like it is with your personal profile. Your tagline needs to be client focused. It needs to be what you do. I don't like seeing on anyone's profile that says, I'm a web design guy. I would do web design. I do, search social media, blah, 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 ho hum, who cares? What makes you different? Same thing I preach with the LinkedIn personal profile and your headline. It applies to your company page as well. So mine is helping small businesses improve their search engine ranking, increase traffic to their door, and convert browsers into buyers. That tells people what I do for them. So if I had a few more characters, I would put in there that with website design and social media, but I do that with the company title above. So, and then the branding above in the top has that in there as well. So I can achieve that, the same thing, but I do want people to know that, you have a problem, I have the solution. I'm going to help small businesses, there's my target, improve their search engine ranking, their traffic, and convert browsers into buyers. So that's the goal of, if somebody's looking for to improve their business, their ranking, that's really what we're focusing on. So you'll also see you down here, and just to showcase this a little bit, you'll see the about section that expands out. I think it's 2,000 characters, and I'll talk about where those go. But this, when I talk about the description, that's really where this is going to come into play. And so it's the next prominent piece on your profile. So why do you need a link? Why do you need a company page? All right, you got your personal profile. Can't you do everything there? You can, and you should be, but you have the ability to really to magnify your brand reach. You can share company updates and news on your company page. Okay, so there's an opportunity to do something besides something personal. You can build a community. You can have people following your page, whereas you have to connect individually on your profile. That has to be a mutual connection. People can follow your company page without any reciprocity. You don't, in other words, you don't have to follow them back. So you build a community that way. You can grow your brand image and with some consistency on social media. So by carrying your brand throughout and having that message throughout all of your platforms, you're building upon that consistency. So wherever anybody sees you, you want them to be able to get the same brand message. And then it's going to improve your discoverability on search engines. One of the things that we're seeing, company pages can be followed. We talked about that already, but one of the things we're seeing is that where Facebook, Instagram are very closed and guarded, they don't let your any of your content reach the search engines. LinkedIn is just the opposite of that. LinkedIn lets the search engines have access to your profile, and therefore it's going to boost your ranking and have more listings. So if you've got a LinkedIn personal profile and you have a company page, both of those can be indexed in Google. And now you have somebody looks for you, they see, one more spot that you can find. And we're also going to find out that showcase pages have that same ability to be indexed. So it really lets you showcase what your business does. And so rather than, talking about personal, where you're really talking about the things that you offer or what your expertise are, you can showcase and be a little more brand, a little more brand awareness, a little more brand consciousness, a little more educational on your company page than potentially on your personal. And what I try to do is as I post to company page and then share it over to my personal profile page, which is the same way I do my Facebook pages. Company pages are SEO friendly. So Google indexes the first 156 characters of a page description. And then, and so that's going to show up then when they put your listing, when your listing shows up in a search. So you want to make sure that those first 156 characters tell the story of what you do. So, that's not a case where you want to build up a, anticipation of something or whatever it might be. You want to get your first 156 characters out there and important. You have 2,000 characters in your company description. So you utilize those characters. Again, that's a case to really show everything that your business is about. I always do mine. Mine always talks about, I've got a paragraph that talks about web design. I've got a paragraph that talks about SEO. I've got a paragraph that talks about social media coaching. I've got a paragraph that talks about speaking or whatever it might be that I do. If you have room in there, put make sure at the bottom of your description you put a contact information. Yeah, it's on the page, but why not, if they're reading that, don't make them go hunt anywhere else. Put your contact information right there on the bottom of that description page. Because if they're reading down that far, then you've got their attention. So you might as well give them the call to action right there. You can also think about maybe posting a testimonial inside that description as well. So if you've got a short testimonial, that's a great place to do that too. So just a couple of things you can do on your company, or a couple of reasons why your company page is important. With your company page, you want to tell the audience what they need to know to help them make a decision to work with you. So really, you're presenting a marketing plan to them. You're presenting your sales pitch. Let's say you're meeting with someone in person. What are you going to talk about? Well, you're going to talk about how do you fill their needs, what are their problems, and how do you fit in that solution to those problems. So those are all aspects of what you want to bring out in your company page as well. You're not there in front of them to be able to tell them that. So you want to be able to give them as much information and feedback as you possibly can. Things you want to ask are, what's holding them back? What are some things that are, potentially holding them back from moving forward, working with you, or taking any kind of action? How can your product or service help them achieve their goal? What problems are you solving for your prospects? And what makes you different from the competition? I know that those you guys that have been on a lot of these, multiple webinars with me have heard that over and over and over again, but I can't emphasize it enough. It's the same message that flows through everything. What makes you different? Otherwise, you're just another number, and why wouldn't somebody just call the next person in line? You have the option to create showcase pages. So in your business page, you can create a showcase page that creates a community of followers around a specific subject. You have it's very focused content, and it can be, it can created to target a very specific niche audience. You can have multiple showcase pages for each major area. So for me, for example, you can also share those externally. So you can put the link to a showcase page, not just your business page, but your showcase page. You can put that into newsletters, blogs, any external communication, emails, anything that you might want to do. So what happens is when you create an external page, a showcase page, it shows up right over here on your company page as an affiliated. And in my case, I have two right now that I show. I've got a couple more I need to build out, but I haven't done them yet. But I have two right now. I have one for social media, and I have one for web design. So, and if I'm remembering correctly, you might want to give this some thought, because these show up in this section right here in the order you put them in, reverse order you put them in. So I put in the web design first and then social media. So whatever I put in next is going to go up above it. So keep that in mind as you're planning these showcase pages. So you may want to put whatever you want prominent at the top, you put that in last. But then a showcase page looks very much like your business page, except for the fact, you still have your branding graphics, you still got your logo, you've got your about section, which is different from your company page profile, in the fact that you're talking about this one, for example, is social media. Grow your brand with an effective and efficient social media strategy. So I've used a different tagline. I've used a different about section, because I want to really focus on this really focuses on social media. And you can add hashtags that apply only to the, this particular one. The web design category helps small business drive traffic to their door and convert browsers into buyers. And then you have the about section here is also related to web design rather than to just to my overall company presentation. So think about this, because again, these showcase pages can be indexed in Google just like your company page can. So now I've got the ability for Google to find a page on web design. I have Google, the ability for Google to find a page on social media. So, and again, people can follow my web design page. They can follow my social media page. I'm back up here. They can find my social media page, or they can follow my company page, or all three. So now you have multiple opportunities to reach, your audience. So that's showcase pages. And the way you access your showcase page is up under at the top of your, now let me pull this over and I will show you where that is. Pull that over into place here. So up under your me section up here, then you've got manage, and here's your company post and posts. This is where you access them, but then you have admin tools here where you can create a showcase page. So that's where it's found. It's under the admin tools, create a showcase page. This is from your business page, obviously. And so that's how you access that. You also have the ability to create an event in LinkedIn. You've probably created an event, or at least maybe seen events created inside of Facebook, but LinkedIn has that same option now to let you be able to create an event off of your company page. You create the name. Is it an online event? If you're going to live stream it, you can put the URL for the live stream, the date, the time, the information. And then the nice thing about it is once you post that, you can invite followers. I think you can invite 500 followers to the event. I think that's the limitation on there. But if you get 500 people to an event, that's great visibility. You can also link to a ticketing website. So if you're going to have it via Zoom, for example, or if you're going to sell a ticket, and not do it as a free, but you're going to do it as a paid event, then you can connect it to Eventbrite or Zoom or anything of that nature, so that you're getting the registrations. I normally do mine, excuse me. I normally do mine link to Zoom, to the Zoom webinar, and then I capture email when people register for the webinar, and then that's how I can get those into my database. You can start conversations with people that are planning on attending. So you can even go live if you're signed up for live. You can actually go live to the attendees before the event and start building that awareness for the event. So you can answer questions, you conduct, you kind of start getting them really comfortable with you and what you have to offer. So events are a really cool thing now, and I think they're going to have a big impact. You also can view the followers of a page. So if you have somebody that follows your page, now you can see who they are. You can find the followers and easily connect with them. And so there's a new tab now on your company page right here for analytics. And if you see under analytics, then you have followers. And then when you click on that, so it will bring you up the people that are following your company page. And you can see in my case, I've got second and third degree connections. Second degree means a friend of a friend. Third degree, third means, you know, a friend of a friend of a friend type thing. So anyway, but normally you can't connect to these because you don't have any, you know, you don't have an email, or you don't have a work together or something like that. But because they followed your company page, now you can simply click on the individual. You can read their profile, see what they do, and then you can click on that and follow them, or ask them to connect. So personally, so that's a way that you can reach out to and grow your personal connections through your page is through followers. So cool little, and there's some other things they've added, but I think the followers was the biggest thing that was added into the stats. It'll tell you, you know, follower insights and metrics and things like that. But to me, the finding out who those followers are is probably the biggest. And you can actually export those to a report if you want, and then you maybe figure out a strategy to plug those into your database. LinkedIn also offers hashtags, and you know, hashtags are becoming again the popularity through Twitter, and then ultimately carried down through Instagram, has created a kind of trickle down effect over into Facebook and LinkedIn. But it gives you the chance to be found more, or found and followed organically. So you can put hashtags in your personal post, but you can also put them in your business post. Add as many relevant hashtags to your content as you want. Again, make them relevant, as I've preached before. And I was telling somebody yesterday in a personal training, that don't plug in a hashtag that doesn't have anything to do with the post that you're creating. Because if just for me, if you drive me to a post because I'm looking for a hashtag on a specific topic, and that post does not have that topic covered, or loosely covers it, so I'm more angry. I don't like that aspect of it. So when that happens, I'm not gonna have a good feeling about it. So make sure your hashtags are relevant. You consider the visual appeal of your content. So when you what I try to do when I do my hashtags is I try to put a little space in between the end of the post and where the hashtags start, so that because they jumble together otherwise, and then makes the post prior to the hashtag look cluttered. But one of the things you ought to have, one of the hashtags you should be using, is your brand hashtag. So for me, for example, and I should have done an example and I didn't. But I'll pull this page back over here. I'll show you. Excuse me. So here are hashtags that I use in my post. So I've got Ninja Marketing Dojo, I've got Ninja 800 Biz Ninja Marketing, and I've got Web Design Company. Now, yeah, I don't have a lot of following, and there's not many people are going to see that, but it's the same thing. I want to build that brand so that if they, as people begin to see my content, then they can follow the hashtag and they don't have to go to my LinkedIn page to necessarily see the content. I'll still use in posts. I'll still use things like, let me pull one up here. For example, I've got Ninja Marketing Dojo, Ninja Marketing, social media marketing, social media manager, and LinkedIn. So those are some hashtags that that I've used on that particular post, because that was about LinkedIn. So, make sure you put utilize those hashtags with the keywords that pertain to it. LinkedIn Live is another feature that I think is going to grow in popularity. But right now, what LinkedIn is doing is it's not available to everyone. Oops, sorry. It's available to individuals and pages by application. So you have to apply to be able to have permission to have LinkedIn Live on your page. It's not a difficult process. You can do a search for LinkedIn Live, and it will bring you to a page where you can do the application. It'll tell you about LinkedIn Live, and then it'll take you to an application. You apply either as an individual or as a company. I would recommend as a company. By doing it as a company, you're building your brand for the company. You can share your LinkedIn Live to your personal. But again, I'm more about trying to build the brand awareness than the personal name, but it's a choice you can make, so that's not a problem. But you apply, and then you say, I want to send it to the business, and then you put in the URL for the business page. If you've done live before, it'll ask you where else have you gone live, and I put in my Facebook page. So it makes it asks for different options there. It does require two-step verification on your profile in LinkedIn. That means you have to have your profile set to phone verification if you log in or something like that, rather than just keeping you logged in. You have to have the second step verification, which I didn't have. And first time I applied, and so I realized I didn't have it, and then had to go back and reapply. All broadcasts should be designed to entertain or educate, or both. Make sure that it's something that you're really providing the value message that you want to provide. So keep that in mind. So that's some of the features that are new. Showcase pages has been around for a while, but I did want to go over that because a lot of people probably haven't taken advantage of the showcase pages, and just they created a company page if they did a company page and thought, okay, I'll do that, and that's all I need to do. But there's some strategies for being able to post both in company page and personal profile. So keep those in mind as you create your content for both. And you may, as you create content for your page, you may want to post it under one of your showcase pages, so that you build the information there. So hope you got some good information out of that. Once again, as a reminder, my Novice to Ninja program, and I've been talking about it a little bit, but I'm should be launching everything within this next week and getting that out there for folks to take advantage of. So watch for that. I'll email it to you guys as well as my email marketing list. So, and if you have questions, reach out to me. You've got my information, his phone number, my email address. Most of you have me on speed dial, so you're welcome to call if you've got questions. And if anybody has any questions that they want to ask, well, feel free to pop those in the chat box. And if not, then we will see you on the next week. So I'll wait for a second here to see. Kill the live stream. And I don't see any questions coming in. So you guys have a great weekend. Look forward to seeing you next week, and we will have a new topic then. So thanks, guys.